spirituals and hymns, and the place that these forms of worship plays in the lives of not only the church, but also dealing with individuals who might have some mental problems in reference to it. Let's talk about it from that perspective.
Okay.
The mental aspect, I think, Brother Taylor, you've talked about in terms of these hymns.
Okay. Dr. Haney, what comes to mind is Dr. Brad Shore, who's over the Myth and Ritual Department at Emory University. And he gave a presentation after studying all of the families around the world. He believes that the old spirituals are the point at which the healing of the American family would begin. And so we have taken that idea and combined it with other things, as it recently, you know, the congressman who suffered the troubles in Arizona, her music therapist and her mother, school songs, the kids songs that they gave her, helped her to reconnect her speech, speaking faster again, and different things of this nature. And I recently, this past week, had the opportunity to share Dr. Bradley's music with a lady who had a weak heart, and she have inherited that. It's in their family. And after listening to several of Dr. Bradley's songs, which is very pure, she tells me that it's healing her heart. And that has really inspired me, because I'm one who believes that the old spiritual in America contains some healing for all of us. And it's, I like to humorously say that it has a patent on it and a copyright that nature has given it. And nobody can really take it or anything, but we all can benefit from it and be blessed from it, you know. And being that we are seeing all these things that are taking place, it's becoming more and more important to me, and I'm realizing what the elders have said in the community about this old music. And it is something that is making a comeback, and I'm witnessing a lot of things as a result of that. And at the Fisk University First Business Week, I had the opportunity to ask one of the bankers if it is possible that some type of special insurance or attention or something could be given to these old spirituals. And it's a form of medicine, and you probably heard the term, is there any balm in Gilead?
Okay.
Yes, you know, and these different types of things. So it is just very exciting to witness these things, and it's the only thing that I have from my hometown that we could say is truly ours, because it has been born out of our experiences. And the other thing that comes to mind, in the southern states, or as Booker T. Washington said, the southern plantations, we have a note of sorrow in our music that is not found in music in any other states, Alabama, Georgia, and Mississippi. And he says that this music, or that sorrow, is where that therapy, the medicine, that comes from the music.
Now, do you find that many people can buy into that and believe that? I mean, the impact that it is having, can they buy into the whole possibilities of being healed by this kind of music? Is that what we're saying?
That's exactly what I'm saying. And what I have found is one of the things that is also affecting us today is there is a hearing loss population of about 36 million Americans that are suffering from hearing loss. Now, that's one of the questions in my mind, and we are working with a couple of hearing protection companies to help get hearing aids and at the same time protect the hearing of young people. But from what I'm witnessing is there's something about the music and those who are able to appreciate it. And a lot of our churches today, they are making a shift to more jazz beat, and they're leaving out the elders. And that keeps bringing back into my mind that it has been their previous lives and that they have lived that has produced such a rare gift. You know, and there's one Canadian that I have met who did his thesis at the University of Memphis in the devotional music of our church, which is being replaced today by the praise teams. And I don't have a problem with that, because I tell them that I'm the Sanford and Son of black church worship music. What they don't want, I'll come and get it. And the other thing here that's coming to my mind is something that Dr. Morgan, Robert Morgan, the hymn writer, the historian of the hymns, he said that we may be the only generation that stand a chance of losing the history of our music. And so And last night I was at a presentation at the Frisch Center about the history of the jazz and things of that nature, and they talked about the old spirituals are at the root of all of it in America.
That's the very, very beginning, and of course, if we were to lose those hymns,
that's right.
It means that we've lost something that would be that everything else, in a real sense, is built on.
That's exactly
jazz and
that's
all
right.
of those other music forms
that's
and
right.
genres
that's
all
right.
come out of
the
hymns and spirituals.
That's right.
And that's a significant part. I think you've talked about Bradley
Yes, sir.
playing a significant part in reference to that. Who was Bradley? Why don't you tell our audience?
Okay.
I think you've explained him to me on a number of occasions. But over the next couple of minutes, explain him to our audience, and we'll say something else about him at the end of this next segment.
Okay. Well, Dr. Bradley grew up in Memphis, Tennessee, dirt poor, and his mother believed when she was carrying him that she was going to be giving him back to the Lord. And his book is entitled, I've Always Been in the Hands of the Lord. And his mother was saying that when she was carrying him, that I'm going to have a man-child and he's going to be a servant of the Lord. And Dr. Bradley was a baritone, as you know, and he was a favorite singer of Dr. MLK Jr., and he sang for the Queen of England in 1955. And we have had the opportunity to reconnect to Buckingham Palace and receive 2 communications about his music. And hopefully you get a chance to share more about that later, how that actually happened. And
why don't you make some statements in reference to how that happened right here?
Okay. Well, Dr. Chris Jackson is the executor of Dr. Bradley's estate, and I'm just working with him, and I'm bringing Dr. Bradley's memories from Alabama. So while we were working together, I began to realize what Dr. Bradley told me when I was here in 1978, that when he was in England, that the Queen was so kind to him and the things that she did for him. He was going to the Trinity School of Music. And I was moved to send her his CD out of my own initiative and expenses and everything. And so I did, and in the process of doing it, she went in the hospital. And that really frightened me because I didn't know if I was going to get it to her in time, but I was able to get it to her. And when she come out, the Prime Minister passed away. And so what I did was we designed the letter to express condolences first for the Prime Minister. And second, we addressed Dr. Bradley, and you know, he was known to be a funeral singer and to comfort people during those times. And so we sent the letter, that was in April, and on May 7th, I received the letter back from Buckingham Palace, thanking me for the CD, and I did not address congratulating her of being her Jubilee.
Very good. And of course, let us take this second commercial break, and then we'll get back to speak again in reference to some of the things that we were dealing with. And we'll be back with our audience following this very, very short commercial break.